How do people run out of fucking toilet paper when they're taking a shit?
I always carry 2 knives with me.
I mean, he is a reptilian.
With his fingers just peeking over. It's like, how do you think the world would end?
Dude, I fucking hate lucid dreaming, where I know I'm in a dream,
Why do you
and I'm
hate
just like
that?
walking,
What?
because I'm just walking around in my dream. And I'm like, fuck, I just want to wake up.
You can do anything.
How would you feel if somebody was just like, fuck off?
Dude, I would lose my shit.
I get
First of all, I would laugh, and then I'd. It's actually kind of crazy. This is something that's kind of crazy. And maybe this is like a theory more than anything, but and many like billionaires have said this over the years, and I think it's like coming more true today, that like as the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and as that like divide gets bigger, I think, and I mean they all think as well, that like once that divide becomes big enough, there will be like chaos outbreak. Do you think?
What kind of chaos?
Like why am I working 60 hours a week, bringing home say $10 an hour? Like, not knocking anybody who makes $10 an hour, that is what it is, but like that's not very much money, especially today when $10 gets you like 2 gallons of gas, you know. So like why would I work 60 hours a week, you know, making $10 an hour when this guy's sitting on his ass doing nothing? And sure, maybe like he got lucky, or maybe he did work his ass off, but like he you know, he's sitting up there, you know, in his mansion or whatever, you know, however this person got rich. And I think like as that divide gets bigger and people get like, especially like at like the poorer end, as they get like start to realize like, wait, why am I doing all this work for somebody and getting like paid? So I mean they're just not getting paid much.
So
I
what do you
think-
think those people will do?
I'm not sure.
I think
I
it's
mean
already
that's
happening.
that's
I
like
think-
hypothetical.
I think over time it's been already
But-
happening. Like especially with internet culture, you can see it. People talking about it. Like it feels like I don't know if it would necessarily happen to the point where it would be like the purge or like anarchy, but I definitely think people would like rise up, so to say. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you see it now. You go to any of these places. Like the other day, I went to Chipotle and it said we open at 10:30. I was there at 12, and they weren't open. And then the lady or like the girl came out and she's like, "Hey, we actually don't open till 1 because there's only me, who was the manager, and one other person here. Nobody else showed up, and we also are so short staffed that like we don't really have anybody here, so we only stay open like 3 hours a day." She's like, because we don't have anybody. And that was like in like a pretty popular town. But I'm seeing it like everywhere. Like everywhere I go, they're like, "Oh, we're short staffed," especially like restaurants, especially like if you go fast food, like anywhere like that, because they're not getting paid enough and they're being treated like shit.
Do you think you're seeing it more so recently, or do you think it just
Oh, dude, the past few months, for sure. I think a lot of people are realizing, one, that they can work from home for a little bit better money than they could at like a restaurant or than at like a fast food, especially. Because there are jobs that like pay you 15 to 20 bucks an hour, and you know, like at like a fast food joint, you're only making like 15 bucks an hour.
Hey,
So-
people our age, I know a lot of people our age that make a lot of money doing stuff that they could just do from home. And like, why wouldn't you take that opportunity?
Oh no, I'm not knocking them at all.
I'm not like arguing or anything.
Yeah.
It's just I mean that's the way to go. I mean, especially
Definitely.
with the internet and just everything being able to be done from home. Like, yeah, take that opportunity, seize it. Like that's the culture nowadays, you know?
Yeah, I know you said you don't think there'd be anarchy, but what do you think the end point of that trend would be? You think there'll be like a breaking point where there's like a civil war?
What I was gonna say is I don't know if we would see that breaking point in our lifetime, because like I feel like it's gonna be a build up for sure. Like you're gonna see it coming, I feel like, but I don't know, because like you already see it. You already see people like again like rising up, but
Right.
are we gonna see that? I don't know. I mean, there's definitely people that have like protests and stuff, but how much does it actually do whenever it's only like a selected group of people? Like you need people to actually rise up, and I think it would happen 100%. Especially I mean, to not to like get too political or anything, but like people talking about like right to bear arms and stuff. If there was ever a point where people were forcibly coming to people's homes trying to take their weapons, 100% people would fight back. So like,
Yeah.
Especially in the U.S. Yeah.
and if it ever got to that point, like I don't know if we'd see that in our lifetime again, but it would happen, 100%.
Yeah, I definitely think, like you said, we already see it, and I think there's not. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, but as far as like the U.S. goes, other than like the government being involved in different things, we don't see it in our daily lives, other than the news and the media. So our lives, personally, I think, are pretty fucking simple, and it's weird because like we don't have like the wars like we did, like our grandparents fought in like World War II and everything like that, Vietnam. We don't have any of that other than like we do have like there is still war like Afghanistan, but we haven't seen that like we pulled troops and everything like that, but we haven't seen like a big war in quite a while. So like I think we have it easier than like our past generation, but I think there's so much like uproar. There's way more like uproar because there's no focus on anything. So people are becoming like almost like more divided. I think like racially, we're coming more together, to be honest. But I think as far as like government, rich people, and poorer people, as far as that goes, it's becoming like more divided, if that makes sense. But there's just like less to worry about, so you start worrying about smaller things.
Right. I think I remember seeing something recently. I can't remember who it was, but it was an older guy talking about growing up around the Cold War era and saying stuff like always being on the I think it was actually I think it was Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan talking about growing up in the Cold War era and always being scared of possibly being bombed or something, like just the threat of war. And like, I mean, yeah, that'd be fucking terrifying, and we don't really face that. And there's wars going on right now as we speak, but is it like threatening us immediately? Do we feel like a sense of danger? No. So yeah, we worry about little things, and if we ever got the actual threat of war or something like happened near us, like say DC or New York or whatever, there's a bombing. We would that would change our mindsets. We would start to think differently. We would be worried about less stupid things, small things.
We would come together.
Oh yeah,
Like
we'd
9/11.
rise up.
No, I think that was I was going to say I think that's the last time
Yeah,
was 9/11.
Yeah.
Honestly.
yeah, and I mean yeah, and those wars are still going on, and that's fucking.
That's when
crazy
we
to
were
think
like last affected by an outside force
Mm-hmm.
about.
heavily.
Almost like it's
So
like.
do you think people are like
bittersweet, too.
looking for something to fear then? If there's no like real existing threat outside of the U.S., we kind of like look inwards.
I think it's
Where
only
it
human
becomes-
nature.
Sure. Like they're constantly on the lookout for the next threat.
What, big or small?
I mean, I
Or,
think
like-
rich versus poor could be seen as big, like a big problem.
I think
Oh, I
that's
mean,
why
yeah,
we're
if
seeing
that's-
it.
If that's what you're referring to, yeah. But I mean, if you're talking about looking for something to be scared of, I mean, yeah, constantly, everyone is.
Yeah, I mean, not even like in their personal lives, but as like
Yeah.
you have like a community that all fear something
Well, do you
or
think
want to fight against something.
do you think that's like the reason why anxiety and depression's so high? Because before it wasn't seen necessarily as anxiety depression because there was like a root cause. And I mean, there's like a such thing as generational trauma. So I mean, I'm sure like them not dealing with that because it was real and it made sense. Like, oh, there is like a bombing, like this is real. This can happen. But I mean, like it can happen to us, of course, but it hasn't necessarily. So do you think like that's why it's so high because we don't have anything necessarily?
Could be like an anxiety stemming from not knowing what the ultimate threat is, and then when there is that threat, like the threat of a war or like a bombing, that kind of like distracts you from everything else. It like presents itself as like the only threat or like the biggest threat in your life. Possible. That might be why anxiety and depression are like so high because there's no, like obviously North Korea and Russia are threats, but there's no like feeling of immediate danger. Like because most Americans feel as though if we were to go to war, it would be no contest.
I think I do remember around the time that like North Korea was getting a little feisty. I remember like kind of being like a little fearful for like a draft and stuff. but like not to the point where it was like affecting my daily life. But if that was ever pushed in any way, yeah, I think my mind would be kind of a little all over the place.
Yeah.
Do you think anything's like come up in like daily life that's been like, fuck, I need to stay calm? Like that's been like, fuck, there's like a ton of pressure on me. Something's like going on right now, but like you have to stay calm.
You mean
Like just as of recent, just for like you personally, either of you.
Oh. Maybe nothing to that degree.
yeah, not life or death, but I don't know.
Well, for like example, like I wrecked my car on Friday,
Right.
and I think the worst thing that you could probably do. I mean, like I saw it coming because it was a head-on. Well, not a head-on collision. I hit into somebody, so like I saw it coming. But I don't want to say like it's weird because I was explaining it to somebody today. I had like a feeling that something like it just felt like off that day. But my girlfriend was riding with me, and like I like stuck my arm out in front of her as we were like wrecking, and just like made sure she was like fine. But everybody was like pretty shook up. But I mean that was like one of those things you just have to like stay calm.
This reminds me of the last podcast where you brought up how you get like a feeling sometimes whenever something's off or something, like whenever something somewhere else is happening.
Yeah.
What if it was one of those feelings though?
What do you mean?
Like you told us that sometimes you would get a feeling. Actually, that maybe that wasn't on the podcast. Maybe that was just a separate conversation. But you told us you got like a feeling sometimes whenever something was like off. And then one time your mom called you and said that something happened with somebody.
Yeah, like a little bit of intuition.
Yeah. Do you think maybe it was that though, or do you think
probably
with it was about the car crash? Is that what that was about? Or do you
I
think
imagine because, well, I think the defining point here is how I felt after versus before, and that feeling went away. Okay. But it was also like, I guess you could call it like a traumatic event. So maybe that's why it went away. So like every time like there's like any type of like intuition in my life or anything like that, like I always try to rule out like every possibility. Like, oh, I felt that was coming. I don't want to just say that. So I'm going to rule it out like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I crashed my fucking car. I felt like, something's off, crashed my car. Okay, I feel better. Like, I'm not saying I felt better, but like, yeah, right. It's not like I was expecting, oh, I'm going to crash my car today.
Yeah. But you were saying the worst thing that you can do in that situation is
probably freak out.
Panic, yeah.
Yeah, like the guy behind me who almost hit into me swerved into the oncoming traffic and went around us. That was probably the worst thing he could have done. Because if there's anybody over there.
Did he drive on?
No, he drove in front of us, parked. Hey, you guys good? Like, that was crazy. He's lucky that there was nobody fucking right there.
To be fair, I mean, there's not a lot of options you have. I mean, and what he could have done there, like slam into you or swerve, and like, yeah, obviously, yeah, the
oncoming traffic though.
Right, yeah, that would suck. But so because
I think he got lucky. Yeah,
I had like a similar thing. It wasn't oncoming traffic, but I was on the way back from vacation to the beach, and I was on a highway going straight, and in the left lane, the lane to the left of me, there was like it was completely backed up, vehicles the whole way. But I was going like a solid like 45, 50. So like I was cruising, and somebody from the left lane that was completely backed up decided, hey, I'm going to pull out right now. So they pulled out right in front of me, and I was like, oh, fuck, like I'm going like 50 miles an hour. I can't slam on the brakes. It's not going to be fast enough. So I swerve over to the right. If there was somebody in the right lane next to me, that would have caused an accident. So like I mean, there's not a lot you can do. you kind of make that decision right there.
Yeah.
I think like that's the natural instinct. I think it's more natural to take the wheel and steer than it is to slam on the brakes, in my opinion. That's also because I've had a few experiences besides that, but it's always like you want to turn, especially like for a deer or something. Well, isn't it supposed to, oh no, you're supposed to hit the deer.
Yeah, you're supposed to hit the deer, not swerve, so you don't hit like a tree or oncoming traffic, I guess. But I totally understand, yeah, especially on like the back roads.
Right.
Like fuck, why wouldn't I just go around it? But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Have you ever been in an car accident, Caleb?
No. But when you're saying like either hit the deer or swerve, I feel like I just lay into the brakes, which is probably not good, and then if it's not that, then I'm swerving.
No, it's what you're supposed to do.
Just slam the brakes.
You brake, yeah.
But also hit the deer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, obviously you don't want to you just go full speed.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever swerved when I've been coming on deer. But no, I've never been.
No, you're supposed to.
I think
break
there's a
car
difference
accident.
between like going around it and swerving, though. I think by swerving they mean like completely jerking the fucking wheel to the right or left. I think if you went around, like if it's in the middle of the fucking road on the right
Right.
lane, you go into the left lane,
Right.
especially like at night, you can see fucking lights and shit. You're gonna go around it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we
also-
all agree with that.
I don't
yeah.
panic when I see a deer, especially around here.
Yeah,
You know,
no, it's
We
so
see 'em-
fucking
kinda like-
common
see 'em
too.
so often.
Yeah,
I just saw one on the way here.
I mean,
Yeah.
I slow down just to make sure nothing like jumps out, but you know, I've never hit a deer either, so I guess I don't have that fear.
yeah. Imagine like on a Saturday, you're driving to the mall, right? Get to the mall. Oh, I have to poop. You go into the bathroom. You wipe off the seat first.
Yes. Every
How do
time.
people run out of fucking toilet paper when they're taking a shit? Oh, can I get some toilet paper? Do you ever have somebody ask you that
Oh,
in a public bathroom? How the fuck did you not wipe the seat off,
Oh,
or at
good
least put
question.
Okay,
put
yeah.
put toilet
I
paper
get it,
down,
yeah.
put the fucking seat cover down? How the fuck do
First
people
thing
run
I
out of
check.
toilet paper, dude?
First thing I
Mhm.
check, yeah.
Yeah, fucking wipe the seat off, dude. There's like piss on it. If there's not piss, there's hair on it, dude. Like, how the fuck do people just sit down willy nilly?
I know.
What do
people
they
that
just
extra-
hover?
well,
First
first of all,
Maybe.
it's very rare
People-
that I'm
girl- I
going
know some
into a
girls that
public
do.
setting and taking a poop.
Yeah, preferably I'm at home.
Yeah,
But
if it's an
sometimes I don't even make
emergency-
it home.
Yeah, if it's an emergency,
Sometimes I shit my
definitely
pants.
wiping for sure. But yeah, I've never run out and be like,
Wait,
hey, you got toilet paper over
if
there.
it's an emergency, you're wiping for sure.
But no, like if I can't make it home, like if I'm at the store or something,
You're
and
gonna
I
like
need
shit your pants.
If it's an emergency,
No,
I'm still
I'm
not.
going to the bathroom, but I'm wiping
Okay.
the seat.
Wiping the seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
I'm,
course.
If it's an emergency, I'm not wiping. Like I'm. I always carry 2 knives with me,
Get the fuck out of here.
and I put
Is that-
I put one knife in one side of the stall and the other one right there, and then I climb up on it. I put my feet, and then I
Shut the
and
fuck
I,
up.
and then no.
You shove the knives up your ass.
Do you think squatty potties work? Do you like squatty potties?
Yeah, dude, I use them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't have
What's
an
that?
actual one.
You don't know what a squatty potty is?
No.
It's like a little stool that you kind of like just put your feet up on whenever you're taking a shit.
It's a more
Oh,
natural
yeah, yeah, yeah.
position.
Because
Yeah,
your
for
natural
sure.
position is to like, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyways, what was the question? I don't even remember, dude.
How do people run out of fucking toilet paper
Oh,
in
yeah,
a
yeah.
public
Nah,
setting?
yeah, I
Has
don't
that
get it.
How the fuck
happened?
is that
I think-
possible?
Like,
Yeah.
have you been in a stall and someone's like, "Do you have toilet paper?"
Yeah, and they put their fucking hand up there. I'm like, nah, man.
I think
I'm sorry,
like,
I'm not
Like,
helping.
I'm
you.
out too.
How the... no, I say, nah.
in
How
an,
the fuck do
emergency,
you run out?
in an emergency, I probably wouldn't wipe it. Like if it was an emergency, I'm probably not gonna wipe it, but I'll look at it first.
I would shit my pants before I fucking sit down
I'd
on
at
that.
least look at it. Like if it has piss all over it, I'm not gonna like sit on it.
Go to the next
Like
one.
I'd probably just hover or some shit. Like if it was an emergency, but like I still
Sure.
saw there was piss on it. But if I didn't see anything on it, I'm not gonna like bother wiping it.
Yeah,
I
if we're
gotta fucking
talking like
shit.
DEFCON 5, there's
Like,
But-
yeah, red alert.
But when I say emergency, I'm like, yeah, I can't make it home. So I actually, because if I'm pooping in like the mall, I can't make it home. You know?
Yeah.
How's that one of the things that you were you just like you pooped somewhere publicly and recently and then you were just like that's something to talk about.
No, somebody asked me for toilet paper.
Oh.
I said, fuck off. Why the fuck would I give you toilet paper if you didn't even wipe your own fucking seat off?
Wait, you said fuck. Why is it? Why do
I
you
was
have to,
pissed.
why do you have to hold that personally against them,
Because it's disgusting. I'm like, no, you're fucking gross.
dude?
I'm
That's
not
like
getting anywhere near you.
that's just like the bro code in there. Like if you're in the stall and someone's like, "Hey, can you get some toilet paper over here?"
Yeah, and you say, hey, fuck off.
Yeah, he's
dude.
like, yeah, he's expecting. I got you, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I wouldn't know what to say if I had to ask.
I wouldn't ask anybody, first of all. I'd wipe with like my
What
sock.
if you went into the stall and you pulled the first couple squares off to like wipe the seat,
Mm.
but you didn't notice that it was actually the rest of it was like covered in like chewed gum and stuff.
Oh, man.
And it's just like all damp or some shit. Like
Wait,
maybe
how the fuck does that happen?
I don't know. I'm just like just say that it's like unusable
Okay.
for whatever reason.
Yeah.
How would you feel if somebody was just like, "Fuck off"?
Dude, I would lose my shit.
I get
First of all, I would laugh and then I'd be pissed. I'd laugh and then I'd be like, wait, my ass is dirty. And then I'd get pissed.
I
So
wonder.
it'd be like a double whammy, really.
I know for a fact that guy bathrooms have just like you can't like meet like a cooler person than like in the bathroom. I feel like
Wouldn't know, never used one.
what
I just use the women's. It's cleaner in there.
I used to when I was a kid.
Oh, you motherfucker.
If no one was
You're
around,
one of those kids.
If no one was around, yeah, they're cleaner.
I hate when the little fucking girls come in. Like their dad brings them in. Oh, come on, honey, let's take a piss. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh,
I'm
okay.
pissing right
Okay.
now. And she's going to take a piss in the stall. Like, it's fine, but it's like fucking weird.
I remember one time I was in like a bathroom at like a campsite. It was like one of those shower rooms, so you could see over the shower things. And this kid was in there with his dad, and like you know how kids are, like kids are just like talking, and he's like, "All right, buddy, you gotta like, all right, do this," and then the kid's just like, "Okay, okay," like you just hear like the echo in this like giant bathroom. Then I just like look up one time, I'm showering in like a handicap stall or something, and I see like across the way above, he's just like with his fingers just peeking over, just like, and I hear the dad ask, "What do you see, buddy?"
What the fuck?
And he's just like, "There's a kid over there." I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't know what to do because, like I said, it's like a handicap stall. So, like,
I
I'm
love
like,
that.
I have like so much space between me, so I can't like, hey, like I can't like cover up or something. So I'm just like awkwardly standing there, like, just watching this kid just
Wait,
like,
how old were you?
maybe like 10. I don't know.
Dude, this was like
Oh,
last month.
Yeah, 10, dude. I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, I don't know either.
This is so. It's just the dad asking was
What
just
do
the
you
cherry.
see, buddy?
What do you see, buddy?
Yeah, fuck that guy, dude.
What a weirdo.
Yeah, dude, fucking like tell him to get down. He didn't even like reprimand her.
Hey, buddy, you need my camera phone?
Hey, take some pictures while you're up there.
It's less weird when you do it. Teaching them at a young age, fucking weirdo.
Oh fuck.
Wait, what did the
Having-
dad say to
A
that?
pedophile having kids for the sake of
For the sake of them taking fucking pictures of
Whoa.
weird kids. Well, sorry. Maybe
like
you weren't
his-
a weird kid. I was
No,
a
I
weird
feel like
kid.
his son would
yeah,
be
what?
first.
I'm a weird kid for taking a shower. Fuck, man.
No.
What's that fucking loser doing in there?
You're just weird for being 10. I
Yeah.
feel like every boy at 10 years old is a fucking weirdo.
It's a weird age, yeah.
Did you ever think of
Nothing wrong.
how Hollywood romanticizes drugs? You ever think like how like that fucks people up?
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, sure.
from back in like old movie posters with having like cigarettes, like all people like smoking, like Rebel Without a Cause or something like that. Like always making people smoking look cool, and they stopped doing that. And well, in commercials especially now they have like a what do you call that?
The warning across the bottom?
That's not the word I'm looking for, but yeah, like a warning that says like, "Hey, don't smoke. It's not good for you." And they have that. I think they have that in some movies too. I think different like other countries other than America have like, I think it's India, like Bollywood movies. I think Bollywood movies like have to have like a little subtitle that says in the middle of like an actual like Bollywood movie, it just says like no smoking. Like
So
don't
like
smoke.
a middle of the scene, like please
Yeah.
don't smoke or
Exactly,
something.
yeah.
Wow.
Interesting. What do you mean by romanticize? Because I feel like there's a lot of movies that show, like, let's take you've seen Euphoria before?
Mhm.
You haven't.
Mm.
They show a lot of drug use, like ecstasy and heroin and meth, I think, right?
Yeah.
And they show like the effects of it and like people being, feeling really good on it and having a good time, but they also show how it destroys their lives. So I feel like there's a fair amount of media that does that, but I understand like in old times where you see someone partying and they do cocaine, there's no repercussions.
True. I wonder if our minds, because in my mind personally, when I see drug use like that, I'm like, I see like the highs more than the lows. So I'm like, oh fuck, like it can make me feel like that. Fuck yeah. It's not like the fucking first thing I'm doing, like, oh, I'm gonna go out and buy fucking Coke. But it's like, wow,
Right.
like if I do it, that's what it looks like. I mean, I know there's like, the come down and all that shit. That's possible, but
Right. Well,
I don't
even
know.
past the come down, I mean, like withdrawals.
Yeah.
Or it was laced. I
True.
think Euphoria does a good job at kind of showing that side of
Would
it.
agree.
But
Do you think like people are that easily influenced by not only like shows and movies perspectives on like showing like purposely showing the negative effects and stuff?
I feel like it's more subconscious where they don't see a movie where someone's tripping on acid and they're like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna look for acid. But if someone offered you acid, that'd be in the back of their mind.
Mm-hmm.
They'd be like, I feel like it's overall a good thing. Which I guess no one really overdoses on acid, but
Well,
that
think-
example.
What comes to mind for me is Black Mirror, like showing the negative effects of like technology and like being on your phone all the time. I mean, that's why it's called Black Mirror. Did you know this, by the way? Fun fact about the title Black Mirror. It's called Black Mirror because
Phone screen.
your phone screen, whenever it's turned off, you're looking at a black reflection.
Right.
Black Mirror.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know that. No, that's on. Yeah, that's
It
great.
seemed like you pieced it together as soon as I like mentioned it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, like I was thinking about that, how they obviously are showing that like looking at your phone all the time is fucking you up, but that doesn't affect people's like lives or anything. I feel there's definitely people that are like, oh yeah, I gotta stop, but like I feel like most people just carry on, you know.
Yeah, it might be the same thing where it's a little subconscious, kind of plants the seed, but it's also, I feel like people addicted to their phone are less likely to admit that they have a problem with their phone unless it's really bad.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think we'll ever get to the point of like Ready Player One where people will have like full bodysuits of like virtual reality and just spend all day like
I mean, yeah,
Like-
technology will get to the point where there's video games like that, and there will definitely be people that spend all day
to
in
a
it.
point where it's as easily accessible as it is in like those viewpoints of it, like where everyone has one. Because like that stuff exists already, but it's super expensive, and you don't just have that.
It's also
sitting
not
in
to
your-
that level.
Right, yeah, but to like point where you could feel everything. And
But yeah, I feel like it'll get to that point eventually, unless something like the world ends happens. But
Well,
how do you think the world would end? What were we gonna say? Sorry.
no, real quick. I mean, Japan made a screen that you can lick and it tastes different flavors. So
How does that work?
it's crazy.
I've seen
Yeah,
something like that.
How does it work? I have no idea. They made it where you can smell different smells, but they've also made, I think, more impressive than smells is the fucking taste. They
Yeah.
made a screen that tastes like different flavors. How
Yeah,
the
I
fuck
think
do you
they
do that?
have like a bunch of ingredients in the machine, and then it kind of just like mixes them together, whatever's on screen, and then like secretes it. Like I don't think you can do anything, but it's like a lot.
Yeah, I think they started with like 7 different things.
Oh, okay,
Cool, though. That's still cool.
How do I think the world would end?
Yeah.
That's a huge
That's a
flip
big
of the switch,
question.
but from a lickable screen.
Well, it was
Maybe
before,
that's
it was
why.
before you said the lickable screen.
Maybe that's how.
Are you saying it would be like
Lickable
AI?
screen.
Yep.
Everyone is forcibly made to lick a screen.
Until
No,
they
we
die.
all get really into it, and then like in 5 years it causes cancer, and everyone dies.
Oh.
We're gonna grow up and we're gonna be like old people making fun of like whatever the new generation is called. Like all these kids do is lick their screens, and that's gonna be us.
I'd probably be licking screens as an old man.
I was just thinking about what the generation would be called.
Yeah, that's another thing I've always thought about too. Is like how boomers, like old people now, don't really associate themselves with technology nowadays. I feel like I, as a person, want to be involved with whatever's new.
Yeah,
even as I get
I don't
older.
think there's ever going to be a point where we're looking at technology and be like, I don't even know how to use this, but all the kids do.
Yeah,
It's like we grew up with technology that we
maybe that's it, man.
yeah, we'll advance with it.
like computers and stuff is kind of like a bit of a gap. Like it was a whole nother like staple
Definitely, yeah.
in like technology and stuff. So maybe it's a bit different. But yeah, I was gonna say because like if I'm older, yeah, I want to be up to date with everything. I want to be able to kick my grandkids' ass in whatever game's out. You know.
I'm not sure. I really have no interest in the metaverse. So if like the metaverse became like huge, I feel like people would fall off if they're like, "Fuck, I don't want to do that."
I mean, as it
That's where
is
people
now,
fall
it's
off.
there's yeah,
There's nothing to it.
stupid, but
I personally think, yeah.
I remember that's actually one of the very first topics we had on the unnamed podcast that we had before was metaverse.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the biggest thing, and like I remember you saying that like it's gonna be the next big, like this is gonna be the thing, and like now it released and nothing.
And Facebook lost like 63% of its market value.
yeah, what are they doing, dude? What is he doing?
He rebranded and got fucked. Fuck Mark Zuckerberg. That's
Yeah,
what I
You
gotta
mean
say.
the meta thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What-
no, it's trash.
Why? Oh, because didn't they rebrand because they were like avoiding some sort of lawsuit or something?
That's what it seemed like. He's probably avoiding a shit ton of stuff. I mean, he is a reptilian.
I think he avoids
meme.
the cold. No, I think if they get to the point of full dives, where like you put on a helmet and you just like go to sleep and go to another world, I'd be into it.
Really?
That'd be fucking
Why
cool,
not,
yeah.
dude? That'd
Fuck
be
that.
fucking
If it
I
was
like
crazy.
dreaming.
If it was tested, I would
Well, maybe
It's
not.
dreaming, but real life. Like you can do anything but real life.
like lucid dreaming, but more so. You know?
Dude, I fucking hate lucid dreaming, where I know I'm in a dream,
Why do you
And I'm
hate
just like
that?
walking
What?
because I'm just walking around in my dream. And I'm like, fuck, I just want to wake up.
Fuck, it's
You can
boring.
do anything.
Yeah, I could do anything, but why? Why?
How does
I
lucid
could do anything
dreaming-
in my real
What do
life.
you mean?
How does
why?
lucid
Then it
dreaming
actually means
work
something.
for you? How does it work for you?
What do you mean?
Like, is it just you just control like things happen to you and you get to control what happens from then, or do you make things happen? Because whenever I lucid dream, I can just like if I'm dreaming, I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna make this happen, and I can make it happen. Like I'm like I feel like flying, so I just start fucking flying. Like it's not just like I'm in like a first person perspective of like a cutscene or something.
Yeah, well, I guess mine would be the latter. More things probably happen to me than I do, but I'm like, oh fuck, I'm dreaming. Well, I want to wake up. Why the fuck would I want to be stuck in a dream
Can you force
when
yourself
I
to
can do
wake up
whatever
like
the fuck
that?
I want in real life? What?
Can you force yourself to wake up like that? Just like
Usually, pretty close.
It's not like time stays the same though.
What do you mean?
Like you're
Yeah.
not just like sitting there waiting for the dream to end.
I
I
don't-
am.
I
That's
think
so weird.
It is weird. That's why I fucking hate it.
I think time does work the same when you're dreaming. I'm pulling this out of my ass, but I think like you're not dreaming the entire time you're asleep. You don't just like fall
Right.
asleep and you start dreaming. I think like yeah, I feel like isn't your dreaming towards the end of your sleep, or is that not how that works?
You go through cycles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because there's all different types of sleep and stuff like
Mhm.
deep sleep, REM, and stuff.
I think
like that.
REM's the only time you have dreams, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah,
Might want
if-
to fact
if you
check
have, like,
that,
a-
but I'm pretty sure
If you have
that's
like
what
a
it is.
Fitbit or something, it'll track.
I don't think dream time and real time are parallel.
I think it's completely different. I've had like 6
Yeah.
dreams, and it's like 6 completely different days in one night.
Now that I'm reminded of like the different types of sleep, yeah, it makes more sense. But it always feels like you dream like right before you wake up. But then
I feel like my dreams are pretty quick,
really.
you know?
My dreams
Yeah,
are-
I've never had like
Yeah.
I've never felt like I was like
Just sitting
Well, get this
around
shit
like
over
when's the
with.
next thing gonna happen?
boring.
Well, that's when I was like actively lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
So-
Were you purposely trying to, or like
It was both. Like if I tried to do it, then like I did it, and then when I didn't try to do it for a little bit, I still did it. That's why I was like, fuck that. I hate that shit.
what was the method you used to like purposely do it? Because I know there's different ways you can lucid dream.
Honestly, this was years ago, but if I remember correctly, it was more like, okay, like you're falling asleep, like it was something like you reminded yourself of something as you were like falling asleep or something like that.
Like a subject or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
something.
you have a method that you use?
I always
Okay,
lucid-
yeah,
I've
that's what I was
never
saying. Mine just
I don't remember the last
Just
time I
happens.
haven't lucid dream. Every time I dream, it's lucid.
yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
There's different ways you can
I don't
force
dream
it,
very often though, but whenever I do, it's lucid.
like with red light and stuff. I think you talked about it. You putting like ping pong balls over your eyes and then using like red light. That's one of those
Yeah,
ways.
yeah, the Gans field effect, I think.
Maybe. But
That's-
you were talking
that's
about
not a-
tripping more than
That's not a sleep thing. Yeah.
No,
That's-
you can't. That you can lucid dream with red light on your eyes. People use like red. It's either like a red line over their eyes or like red dots in their eyes or some shit.
It's
But some
for
people use-
hallucinating while you're awake.
Yeah.
I've seen people do it.
But you can
though.
probably
Maybe
go
not
to
the ping
sleep,
pong balls.
maybe.
Have
But
you
I
tried
don't-
that? The ping pong thing?
Yeah, I've tried it.
I remember him
do
telling
anything?
about it.
Didn't do anything to me.
There's a
Yeah.
ping pong ball right there.
Yeah. Yeah,
You tried it on the
I saw it and I
podcast?
was like, I tried it and yeah, nothing happened. But maybe I just didn't do it long enough, or I don't know.
Never
Or
tried.
maybe I was
I
like,
was thinking
expecting
about it.
something to happen.
I didn't have access to a ping pong ball, but I was thinking about trying it. I remember it's like one of those things that pops up every now and then that you see on the internet. And you're like, oh yeah,
Yeah, I just
Okay,
happen to have
anyways.
ping pong balls, like, and I have red lights, so
right, yeah. But nothing happened, huh?
no.
Yeah, dude. Been having some fucked up dreams lately. They're weird.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I've been like dying and shit every night
Oh,
for like a while. Now they haven't happened in like a few weeks, but holy,
how do you die?
That was foreshadowing.
I
a
get
car
shot in the
crash.
face.
Okay.
Oh,
no, I just get shot in the face.
Every time?
Are you serious?
Every time. hmm
Maybe it's because we were talking
Yeah.
about.
Do you think that's,
Some of them are like hyper realistic.
Do you think that stems from having guns pulled on you?
Maybe.
Yeah, and like us talking about it too, like reminding you maybe.
I don't know.
I don't even think we'd have to talk about
At
it. I feel
this
like
point-
that's always with you.
Yeah, I mean, it
True.
doesn't bother me. Like it's not like I wake up like like breathing or anything.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I just
Wait,
wake
do you
up. and,
die
like,
when you
fuck.
wake up though?
I die every time.
Or
Yeah,
do
people.
you wake up when you
Dude,
die?
I've read online that you can't die in your dream. Bullshit. Like I don't go anywhere, but like,
You can't die in your dream.
yeah, people say you can't die in your dream,
You probably. I mean,
or else you'll die in real life.
If you
That's what I've read like a million
What?
times.
stupid.
Even from, I believe, from
if
sleep
you die in a
experts as
dream,
well.
you just wake up.
yeah,
That's what I feel like. If I die,
I don't wake
yeah,
up
because it's like
immediately.
what
like,
happens.
It,
It's just
like
dark.
shocks you.
It's just dark, and I'm like, fuck. Or like I'll fade, and then like it'll just be dark, and then I'll wake up. There's never like an afterlife.
Then
Like
you have-
that's what I believe. Like when they say death, like you can't die in your dream. Like if I had to guess, they mean like you can't die like completely in your dream and then like go to the afterlife or some shit. I don't know.
Hmm.
Because I fucking died. Like I've been shot multiple times in the face.
Yeah.
The last time I got shot in the chest, dude, I could fucking feel it. And some dude came up to me and like laid like his hand on my fucking head, and he's like, just like be calm, be calm, be calm. And then like I just like closed my eyes and I like started like meditating in my fucking dream, even though I was shot twice in the chest. I knew like if I was shot 4 times for some reason in the chest, I knew I was gonna die, but I was only shot twice in the chest in this dream, in a fucking giant eagle. But
Do you
that
think
crazy.
it's because like you don't fear death that strongly? Because your brain, you can't stay asleep when you have that strong of an emotion. Like your brain can't become too active or else you just wake up. So maybe,
Oh, you think it's because I don't fear death?
yeah, but even then, like that kind of shocks should wake you up. So
I would imagine I would wake
Like,
up
even if
more
you
than just
didn't-
like
I think for
and
me,
just go back to sleep. Like it doesn't bother me.
For
Well,
me,
yeah.
it would be the bullet impact that would wake me up. Like that's how like sensitive my.
In this last dream that was like super vivid, I remember it like it happened to me 5 seconds ago. It was like I didn't feel like a crazy impact. It was like so much adrenaline that like I felt like the burning.
Mm.
And I mean I've read online, I've never been shot, but I've read online that like being shot, like that's what you feel, like your adrenaline kicks up and like you feel it like burning more than like it actually like hurting or anything like that.
It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of those like recurring dreams for people, especially with ADD and some other forms of some other disorders of like say your teeth like falling out, or trying to think of the other types,
Mhm.
but that's one of them. But I have
Like OCD.
yeah. I have recurring dreams where my teeth fall out, and I think it's anxiety actually. Anxiety is where it comes from. So I have it. They don't fall out for me. It's more like they. I've told you this before. They kind of like crumble, like they kind of turn into a powder, and I just kind of like start chewing powder, and I'm like, oh fuck. It's just weird. It happens to me a lot.
I've never had that. I get dreams where I'm being chased by something. I think that's like anxiety.
Yeah.
But I
Probably.
usually become lucid during that, and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna wake myself up.
Yeah. Oh, also, school too. Going back to school, I have a lot of dreams about where I'm specifically back in like the high school hallways, but it's like our high school, but not our high school. You
Mhm.
know, like,
Yeah.
but it's like I'm always like I always don't have my schedule. It's like the first day of school, I don't have my schedule, and I'm trying to find the office to go get my schedule. I don't remember my locker combination, and I'm just like panicking. Like I don't know where my first classroom is. I don't know where everything is, and I'm just like trying to find everything. And like time's running out. Like everyone's like starting to like disappear in the hallways because everyone's getting in their classrooms, and I'm just like I don't know what I'm doing. Like I have dreams like that's like my nightmare, like almost.
Right.
I have it so often, and it just makes me anxious. And I'll wake up like, oh, fucking thank God. But like, I have it so often, including the teeth thing. So
Yeah, that definitely stems from something.
Yeah, I was gonna.
anxiety.
No, I was
Yeah,
gonna
anxiety
ask
for sure.
if you guys thought dreams were insightful, but that kind of just like pinpointed what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
And
No, I think
Has
Like
to be
on your
different, yes.
current state, or like
yeah, I mean it could be
something
past
that-
too. I mean
yeah.
that sounds like past.
sure.
Yeah.
past. I don't think. I have read. I remember taking like a psychology class, and this is like a high school psychology class. So I mean, I don't know how much it holds up, but I do remember him saying something like if you have a dream about something, usually it reflects like say you're working for somebody and your boss yells at you for something that you did. You might have a dream about a shark in the water. That shark is supposed to represent your boss or something, and you feel like you're surrounded or something. Like I don't know the exact metaphor that he used, but something like that, where like things might not be exactly what they are, but they represent something. I don't think I've ever like experienced something like that to the point where like I'm like, okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. But I think it could be possible. Like that's the case. I don't know if you ever had anything like that similar, like where you could like pinpoint like what was supposed to represent what.
Yeah, I don't know if it's an exact science because I know you can look up on the internet like what does this mean when you dream it, and they're like
Yeah.
this is exactly what it is. Like is it that
I don't know if it's that apparent.
black and white?
Yeah, because I remember actually we talked about like the whole school thing that I have, and I remember looking it up, and it was like saying that like, oh, if you have dreams, recurring dreams about like the first day of school or whatever, like you can't find your class, then it means this, and it was some like very vague description that could mean anything. Like it's kind of like getting like a fortune off of like an app on your phone or something, like just like some vague thing, or like hot takes, star signs. I mean, like star signs are they could be anybody. Like they could read to anybody, in my opinion. But
Dude, I used to think that shit was bullshit.
what?
Star signs. But the more like I meet people and the more like I know when they were born or find out when they were born and how they act, the more like it lines up. And I don't know if I'm aligning that myself, but it seems to like
I think that's what the argument is. It's like you're finding stuff that's there, and then just kind of like ignoring what's not.
Probably.
But I mean, I'm an Aquarius, and I feel like I line up with a lot of Aquarius stuff.
Probably align with a lot of other stuff too
Sure.
from the other stuff.
Yeah, but a lot of it also is like very similar. So yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, do you know much about? Because I don't even know much about mine, which is Taurus. So do you know much about that? Like, would you say that? Like, yeah, you seem like a Taurus.
I can't say that definitively.
I don't know what Tauruses are like.
I sort of do
It's a
because
bull. That's all I know.
I know, obviously I know a lot about myself, and then I know a lot about like I do know
What's
a lot
yours?
about Aquarius, Cancer,
Makes sense.
like highly emotional.
Yeah. See, I don't think that's true.
See, like you could fit it in, and you could also say, "Oh no," so.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I've just seen people, but like I said, I think I'm fitting it in. I think I'm generalizing people too much and erasing things from people.
And also, people can like those traits don't necessarily mean they are who you are and that's it, because you can change who you are as a person. You can change your personality.
Definitely.
So, I mean, does it only describe how you are when you were born, or
Yeah.
like
Yeah, there's definitely some things about Aquariuses that don't define me at all.
mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't think anyone's stupid for like following them or believing them. But
No,
I think it's
mean,
just more fun than anything.
Yeah.
There are some people I feel like that follow it like to a T.
Yeah, where they're like they meet you and they're like, I can't even associate with you.
Exactly.
It's like,
That's
That's ridiculous.
write me off as a
it's
person.
extreme.
Yeah.
That's just. I mean, not to get into that, but like the religion or something. People that are against religion or for religion, if you're to the extreme, just fuck off. I mean, like
Yeah.
like you can have your beliefs, but like don't like.
Yeah, but at the end of the
Fucking
day, you
like-
don't know.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Yeah, I do remember talking to somebody at one point in time. This was like a long time ago, but they're like, "Oh, you're a Cancer? Like you're gonna give me trouble?" I'm like, "What?" It was just like
And then
creepy
you, and
more
then
than
you
anything.
murdered them and then threw them in a back alley.
like this isn't because I was a
Context.
Cancer, just a psychopath.